The last whisper of the forest. Lyra had heard the rumors all her life, that in the heart of the crystal forest, there existed a tree that held the last whisper of ancient magic. Her grandmother used to tell her that when humans completely forgot magic, that whisper would vanish forever, taking with it the possibility that the enchanted times would one day return. But the rumors were just that until the morning Lyra awoke and discovered she could understand the language of birds. "Time is running out," a robin chirped at her window. "The child must leave before sunset." Heart pounding, Lyra packed only the essentials: her grandmother's silver locket, a piece of bread, and a bottle of water. The crystal forest was a half-day's walk away, but she had never been alone. The path began as green and familiar, but as she delved deeper, the trees began to glow with a faint, bluish light. Their leaves clinked like bells in the wind, creating a melody that seemed to guide her forward. Small, luminous creatures, no bigger than her thumb, followed her curiously from the branches. As the sun began to set, Lyra came to a clearing where the most extraordinary tree she had ever seen stood. Its trunk was as clear as crystal, and within it flowed a golden light that pulsed like a heart. The roots spread out in a perfect circle, and a faint sound came from the tree, like the echo of a distant conversation. "You have arrived," a voice said. Lyra turned and saw an old woman whose silver hair moved without the wind, whose eyes shone with the same light as the tree. "Are you the guardian?" Lyra asked. "I am what remains of her," the woman replied. "I have waited so long that I had almost forgotten my name. The tree is dying, child. Every day the whisper grows fainter." Lyra approached the crystalline trunk and placed her hand upon it. Immediately, a cascade of voices, memories, and emotions flowed through her. She saw mages healing with a touch, dragons flying alongside brave riders, entire forests singing at dawn. "What can I do?" she whispered. "The whisper needs a new home," the guardian explained. "But it can only live in someone who truly believes in magic, not just in its power, but in its necessity. Are you willing to bear that responsibility?" Lyra thought of her world, growing gray, where people looked at screens instead of at the stars, where no one stopped to listen to the wind in the leaves. She thought of the children who would grow up never knowing the possibility of wonder. "Yes," she said without hesitation. The guardian smiled and vanished like morning mist. The tree began to glow brightly, and the whisper grew louder until it became a song that filled the entire clearing. Lyra felt the magic flow toward her, not as power, but as a promise, as a responsibility to keep hope alive. When she returned to her village the next day, Lyra seemed the same as ever. But the children began to gather around her without knowing why, and the flowers in her garden grew more beautiful than ever. Sometimes on clear nights, people swore they saw small lights dancing around her house. And in the heart of the crystal forest, where the transparent tree once stood, now grew a young and strong oak, waiting patiently for the day when the world would be ready to hear the whisper of magic again.